Survival is a mindset. Hi folks, today we're going to talk about the 85-year-old Idaho mother of a disabled son who shot an armed intruder, saved her life and the life of her son. The local prosecutor is saying it's one of the most heroic acts of self-preservation that he's ever heard of. Let's get into it. According to Fox News, and I will put links to the article and any other pertinent information in the description of the video, but according to Fox News, the suspect, 39-year-old Derek Condon, entered the home of Christine Jenneiahn, which she shares with her disabled son. Now, she was asleep. This was around 2 in the morning. He was dressed wearing a military jacket, a black ski mask, and pointing a gun, threatening her. He winds up handcuffing her to a wooden chair. He goes searching through the home for valuables. Apparently, she owned a pawn shop and a gun range in the past. I don't know if she currently does. So he knew her and knew that there most likely were valuables in the home. So as he searched through the home, she remained handcuffed to her to a wooden chair. When the suspect became enraged when he found her disabled son, that she didn't tell him she had a disabled son living at the home, he threatened her, threatened him. So she tells him that there are 2 safes downstairs. As he goes downstairs, this is according to the article, she winds up dragging herself, handcuffed to the wooden chair. Mind you, she's 85 years old. Drags herself to her bedroom where she retrieved her Smith & Wesson .357 revolver under her pillow and then brings it back to the living room wherever he had her handcuffed. When he returned, she hid the pistol, waiting to see what his next move was. I'm guessing hoping that he would just take whatever he had and leave. But he didn't, of course. Threatening her more, she decided that was the time, do or die, and she wound up shooting him twice. He returns fire with his 9mm that he had in his possession, hits her a bunch of times, shoots her, manages to get himself into the next room, and eventually dies. She winds up laying there for about 10 hours until her disabled son finds her, gives her her phone so she can call 911. The police get there. They perform first aid. They get her to the hospital. As far as I know, she's still alive. So I wanted to bring this story to your attention, folks, because I think it brings up at least 3 great points that we've spoken about in the past. Number 1, survival is a mindset. Obviously, this woman, Miss Christine Jenneiahn, has a will to survive. She's 85 years old. She's sleeping at 2 a.m. This guy breaks into her house, handcuffs her to a chair. She winds up dragging herself to her room to get to her gun. She obviously had a will to survive. Number 2, storage. I wanted to point this out. The article says she's got the gun under her pillow. Now, I've spoken about storing your handguns. If you have firearms for self-defense at home, how you store them is going to be up to your personal situation, right? So if you have small kids, you may want to store them unloaded in a locked safe. If you live alone and maybe not in such a great neighborhood, maybe you want to store a loaded handgun within close proximity. Now, she's 85 years old. Obviously, this works for her to store it under her pillow. And if she had it in a safe, maybe she wouldn't have been able to get to it while handcuffed to a chair. So storage is very important. Again, depends on your personal situation. Number 3, have a plan, whether it's in your head, whether you've practiced it going through it physically with scenarios. Have a plan on what to do. So if you don't like firearms or don't have firearms for whatever reason, you don't need firearms to survive, right? They help. Certainly if you're 85 years old, you can use anything though. You can use pepper spray. You can use anything as a blunt object, such as a fire extinguisher. However, if you're older or disabled, you may not be able to pick up a fire extinguisher and swing it. That's why in this case, having a gun seemed to work out perfectly for this victim. I just wanted to point out a case that I consider overall positive now. Of course, having her home broken into at 2 a.m., getting shot, having to fight for her life and her son's life, that is not a positive part of it. The positive part is that she had a will to survive, and she did survive. She saved herself and her son. Of course, we wish her well and hope that she recovers from this incident. I just wanted to point this out, folks, because you don't see a lot of cases in the mainstream news about responsible, lawful gun owners defending themselves with guns. Right? You don't see it because it doesn't fit the narrative. Now, Fox News had this out there. They usually report on cases where good guys with guns use them for self-defense, and they come out alive or survive the incident. So this is one of those cases where I wanted to point this out. Feel free to put your comments below and tell me what you think about this scenario and this brave woman who saved herself and her son. She refused to be a victim. She just said, you know what, I'm gonna survive this, and she did. So kudos to Miss Christine Jenneiahn. And folks, if you like this video, please hit that like button and share it with anyone you think will appreciate it. Also consider subscribing if you haven't already. And if you do subscribe, don't forget to hit the notification bell so you know when new content is released. As always, thanks for watching, take care, and stay safe.